All right, we've got Congressman Jody Hice coming on with us here in just a moment. The situation in Israel, by the way, just keeps getting worse and worse. The worst in Benjamin Netanyahu's time in office. That's how bad it's been, and he's been in office for quite some time. All right, in 28 minutes in Washington, House Republicans are going to select their new number 3 in the leadership to replace Liz Cheney, who's been solely focused on former President Donald Trump really since the fall, since before the election. As for this morning, Elise Stefanik, as Rachel indicated, is expected to take over as chair of the House Republican Conference. Joining us now to talk more about this is Georgia Congressman Jody Hice. Congressman, good morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning. Great to see you. Thanks.
Well, Congressman, what do we expect? Liz Cheney is out as number 3 in the House. This is really more about Donald Trump's sway over the party than Liz Cheney, right? I mean, this sort of says more about how important the president still is to the Republican Party versus how important Liz Cheney's ascent might be.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that Donald Trump is still the face and the leader of the Republican Party. No question about that whatsoever. But this is also specifically about Liz Cheney. She has been an enormous distraction to our conference and the direction of our party. And we don't need distractions at this point. We need unity. We are in the midst of a battle against socialism and radical leftist ideology in this country that in many ways is destroying us. We don't need distractions. We need to focus on the battle at hand and deal with it effectively.
You knew, or I should say you know, I don't like this whole notion that Liz Cheney has been canceled. She still serves her district in Congress. She will be up for re-election in 2022. We'll see what happens there. But what has your relationship been like with her?
I've always had a friendly relationship with Liz. We serve on the Natural Resources Committee together, and we've always had a good working relationship. I like her as a person. We've always been friendly towards one another. But I think it is very true that she has been heavily distracted on the past and on anti-Trump approach to everything that she's doing, and we just don't need that.
Yeah.
President is the leader of the party, whether she likes it or not, and she just doesn't need to continue attacking.
We've invited her on the show many times, and she has yet to come on Wake Up America. You know, we would be fair, we'd be objective, but I'd ask, you know, challenging questions. I'd ask her real questions, but she has no problem going on MSNBC, CNN, The Today Show, of course. President Trump announced yesterday that he's going to start holding rallies again. 2 questions here. Do you think that this is the first sign that he may be running again in 2024? I think he's probably undecided, but I think he's leaving the door open. And how do you think the media covers these rallies?
I think, to your first question, I would agree with you. I think he's undecided. But listen, the people of America love President Trump. They love the fact that he stood for America and put America first. And the results of those policies were clearly evident. And you compare them now to what we're seeing. I think there's a lot of people with buyer's remorse with the horrible administration currently leading us. So as he goes to these rallies, there are going to be masses of people just thanking him, celebrating him, wishing we still had his policies in place. Oh. I don't think there's a question about that. We'll see what he'll do with 2024 in the months to come. But right now, people want President Trump.
Yeah, the border, Israel, gas prices, inflation, unemployment. I mean, all of these now issues we're dealing with that we were not dealing with on January 20th. We had Congressman Chip Roy on the program on Wednesday. He made it clear that he does like Elise Stefanik, but he does not think that she is right for leadership right now. Take a listen.
She is not. Elise is a friend. I like Elise. But if you look at her voting record, this is someone who voted for the Equality Act, someone who voted to repudiate President Trump repeatedly, including his Obamacare litigation, including voting for an amendment to go after him for his transgender executive order with respect to our troops.
Yep.
This is someone who voted against the president's tax bill. This is somebody who is completely out of step with the America First agenda. I think it's unfortunate that the former president endorsed Elise.
Okay, so I asked the congressman after that if he knew anybody else that might be putting their hat into the ring, and he sort of hedged a little bit. Come to find out, it looks like Chip Roy is going to be up for the House Republican Conference chair seat as well today. Does this change anything, or is Elise Stefanik a shoo-in?
Well, I think probably at the end of the day, Elise is going to win. I mean, this is and this is part of the problem. It gives the appearance that this is a baked election from the very beginning, before there was even an opening. There were endorsements from our leadership and so forth. that really closed the door on others jumping into the race. And so I'm grateful that Chip has done so. Just for the fact that we need an election, we need choices, and so there's a lot of people I think who are disgruntled somewhat with the process that's taken place. That being said, I'm not publicly going to come out right now 25 minutes before the election stating I'm going to vote for. We need unity in the party.
Absolutely.
And like those type of statements publicly right now would not be helpful.
Well, Congressman, I checked my Twitter account the other day, and I've got a message from Congressman Jody Hice of Georgia. You were down at the border, like so many Republicans have done. Very few, if any, Democrats that aren't already on the border, representing border districts, have been to the border. And you were down there looking for our vice president. I think we've got a clip from that.
Agents. One thing that certainly we've not yet seen is Vice President Kamala Harris. We've got a lot of space out here, but no vice president. I keep looking underneath rocks here. I keep thinking one of these times I'm going to find her. But no, she's not under that rock either. Don't know where she may be, but we'll.
We poke fun. That made me laugh, by the way. But here we are, almost 60 days since she was tapped to manage this crisis. How has she not gone to the border yet?
I cannot imagine. I mean, here she has been tapped with that responsibility and has not even bothered to go. And I'm telling you, what we saw at the border, and I've been many, many times now, and every time I come back, Rob, absolutely infuriated. It is unbelievable what is taking place on our southern border. We have the mafia, the cartels, mafia, if you will, absolutely in control. 80% of our border agents are processing illegals, leaving only 20% of our agents to do their job. It is unbelievable. The facilities are packed out. Drugs, human trafficking, illegal criminals, terrorists, all these things are coming across our border. And the one who is responsible to take care of it has not even gone.
Even gone. It's just shocking. Congressman Hice, I know you got to go over and cast your vote. Keep us posted. We'll all be watching at around 8:30 this morning. That is Congressman Jody Hice of Georgia joining us this morning. Congressman, good to see you.
Thank you.
All right.